Okay, Brambro back with some Grand Tactician Civil War, or CSA campaign in the 1.06 beta. And just right here off the bat, I'll say that there may be a little bit more background noise than typical. Stuff going on in the house today. Might be some power tools and some hammering. The world doesn't stop just because Bram decides to record a computer game. So, anyway, we'll muddle through. Just real quick, I want to start off with a couple of comments from comments on the most recent videos. There was one question about, hey, I can't build mines. So how do I have shortages of iron and copper, and what do I do about that? And this has been covered in the series before, but we haven't talked about it for a while. See, there's a little power tool going in the background there. But, yeah, can't build mines. All you can do is upgrade the ones that you start the campaign with. For example, this is the Confederacy's only iron mine. This is it. That's all we got. So I upgraded it. It's tier 2. And that's as far as it can be upgraded. And, that's just going to have to do. Same with, there's a lead mine over by Lynchburg. Same thing. Upgraded this one. This is used for small arms ammunition. But the reason I'm talking about it now is copper. And actually, I haven't really paid much attention to copper. And so I didn't know the answer to that. And this here, also close to Knoxville, is the Confederacy's only copper mine. It says coal mine in the title, but that is that's actually a copper mine. Maybe not. Let me double check that. Oh, I was wrong. Okay, here's the copper mine. Man, that looks coppery in the top of that little car there. Same icon for both, I guess. And it's not showing anything for production because time has paused, and I haven't run it since loading the game. This is all we got here too. It's tier 1, and it would cost 20 million to upgrade. We don't have too many industrial subsidies built up. However, I don't need to do that. Copper really isn't used all that terribly much. The only thing that I can tell that it is used for is to make bronze. And the only thing that bronze is used for is to make artillery. And it so happens that where is it? Copper ore. Yeah, we're making way more than we need. It's a low cost item, and the bronze that it is turned into, we're not making all that much. However, we're using tiny amounts. And in fact, we're not making very much artillery, but we're making more than is demanded, and it is also a low value item. So don't need to upgrade the copper mine. But it's the same thing as the others. As far as I can tell, the Confederacy only starts with 1. So that's the copper. Okay. Talked in the last episode a bit about railroads and transport capacities and how to increase those. And that led to a couple follow-on comments, and I just want to demonstrate something. This is not a 1.06 thing. This is just basically how railroads work. And it's one of those things that once you know it, it's easy, and you just don't even think about talking about it. However, thinking back when I first started playing this game, it was a while before I got the hang of exactly how using railroads and river and sea transport, for that matter, actually works. So I just thought I'd go over real quick. So this unit, Bragg's Recruitment Command, is sitting right on the railroad, and let's say I just want to move them up here. So I right-click on the map to come to this location. When I release the right-click, the menu to take the rail or river or whatever isn't immediately displayed. You have to actually hover your mouse over the right spot. And it doesn't stay there. You only have a couple of seconds to actually pull up the menu, right? So right now I'm holding down the right mouse button. I release. Okay, so this little icon here, that's how you get this little thing to pop up. This little menu doesn't automatically pop up whenever the movement order is given. You got to hover over that little it's not an hourglass, but that little arrow countdown icon, and then make sure that rail is highlighted, selected. Otherwise, no, they won't use the rail. I'm going to cancel that and show that just one more time because it's quick. Move here. I'm holding down the RMB. I'm releasing. Boom. This icon right here. That's what you got to hover over. And once it counts all the way down, boom, done. It's you can't call it back once that arrow moves all the way around. Okay. And then the I guess since I've been talking about this, I'm going to kind of finish it out. You have to actually own the railroad. If like let's say I have some little force that is raiding up in northern Ohio and wants to take the railroad from Fort Wayne to Cleveland. No, no, you can't do that. that's a union-owned railroad. And how is that ownership determined? Well, so all the railroads in the game are pre-set, right? You can't just build a railroad wherever you want from point A to point B. They are existing railroads. They're private companies, and they have preset locations with X number of IIPs along the way. Some are really small, like this well, it may be long in length, but there's only 2 IIPs for this railroad. And so in this view, the railroad view, the green ones, the green IIPs are ones owned by your side, reds are owned by the enemy, right? So if we had like this one right here, we cannot use the Connecticut Railroad here. Some railroads near the front lines will have some IIPs controlled by one side and some by the other. Like, let's look at this Baltimore and Cumberland. I don't know if those will stay highlighted when I exit out. Nope, they don't. Okay. Ah, it pulls me back out. Okay, so this railroad runs from Cumberland to Baltimore, and most of it runs through union-owned IIPs. We do have a couple because it runs near Winchester. Okay? So if I had an army at Winchester, and it's a really short distance, so I don't think would need to, but I could use the railroad to move that army from Winchester to whatever this IIP is, Harper's Ferry. Right? I could not use that railroad to run it all the way to Baltimore. going this other direction, I think it will move some distance. It may move up to an enemy-owned IIP, but I don't think it will move past it. Like if I had an army at Winchester, I could probably move it by rail as far as whatever this is, South Branch Bridge. I don't think I can move it past South Branch Bridge. And we saw that in the last episode. Remember, I was using... Well, I don't know what this railroad is. Yeah, this one. Remember, I was moving Garnet up here closer to Grafton to catch sight of McClellan's army just in the last episode. And Garnet was able to use rail to move up through here as far as Clarksburg. But I'm 99% sure would not have been able to continue up the rail past Clarksburg. Okay. I think I've covered that. And with that, let's get to the business at hand. Which is, as mentioned toward the end of the last episode, the initial plan was to head into and take Grafton, which we could actually do without fighting a battle because we watched McClellan and the other army of the Potomac, whoever's commanding that, they were on their way up to Wheeling, looking like they want to cross the Ohio. Grafton's not covered right now. We could take it. However, McClellan's army is pretty big. The Army of the Potomac with him is pretty big. Combined total of about 50,000 troops. And this army over here is about 20,000. So the total is about 70,000 troops. I want to keep these two corps close to each other, and I don't want to lose Marietta. So I think the first order of business is to deal with whatever the heck the Union is up to over here. I'm not exactly sure. And then we'll come back and pick up Grafton later. Now, and I think what I'm going to do with that is, as I mentioned earlier, once Fort Monroe siege is complete, which shouldn't take too much longer, A.P. Hill's 3rd Corps will bring him up to Winchester and then bring him over here and kind of solidify control. Not only Grafton, but Cumberland as well. Why? Because of this railroad that we were just talking about. And that maybe will help open up some more supply flow into northwestern Virginia. Okay. So that'll be a little bit later. For now, I want to engage and defeat the Army of the Cumberland before the Army of Occupation and the Army of the Potomac, which are up here kind of by Wheeling at the moment. Defeat these guys before those guys get in reinforcement range. So with that in mind, I'm going to bring Beauregard's Army HQ over the river. I'm using rail. And also Garnett's Corps over the river. Also worth noting, that little icon that you got to catch real fast, yeah, that's still just a couple seconds, even if the game is paused. Okay, so we're bringing Beauregard's army over here to hit the Cumberland. With that, let's get time rolling. I don't think there's really anything else. Well, I mean, there could be Union armies moving over here that we just don't have sight of. This is the Army of the Ohio's location. as of January, right? That was like 5 months ago, 4 months ago. Army of the Southwest hasn't been seen since October. So there could be other things going on and we just don't see. All right. What we do still see and hasn't moved and has gone back into defensive mode entrenched is McDowell's Army of Northeastern Virginia. Supposedly up to 40,000 men now. And there's another army probably back here that we can't see. Patterson's Department of Pennsylvania has not been seen for a long time either. Oh, let's move this little scout ship up this way. Get some vision. That's what I made him for. Should have used that. Should have done that earlier in the last episode. Oh, they're using river transport. Oh, actually shot at them. Oh, they're actually running away from it. Well, that's cool. That was timely. That's just one little gunboat. It turned McClellan's 30,000 man army around on the river, made him run away. It also made him disappear. Why can't I see him? Well, that's cool. I've never actually seen forces on the rivers actually have an effect on river transit. Oh, there he is. He's up there now. Let's come up a little closer. Sweet! That's literally the first time I've seen a naval force on a river actually have an effect on a transporting army. And now because of that, this Army of the Cumberland is less interested in pushing in on us. It's still a last known location. He doesn't actually have vision on him. So we don't actually know where McClellan is. Alright, let's go hit this guy now. And we'll leave with Garnett's Corps. He actually hasn't had any combat yet. Oh, Army of the Potomac slipped past me there. Let's go chase him with our gunboat. Let's bring up another gunboat. Where's my next one? You. Come on up the river. Stuff's going on. Okay. Alright, so we did catch the Army of the Cumberland before anyone could reinforce him. We do have vision on some more forces over here now. 32nd Army. We saw that guy before. And the West Virginia Militia at Columbus, Ohio. I think that's Columbus. Yeah. So 22,000 men, and we have a little over 40,000 here, with Garnett in the lead. All right, in we go. I'll put a cut in here. I'll get in there, have a look at the map, the objectives, maybe a bit of deployment, and I will be back. Okay, so we're here on the Willow Garden map, which actually appears in a lot of regions. I think it's just kind of a generic map that can come up if they don't have a really historical one for the region. But that's what we got, with this big rock mountain right in the middle of it. It's a pretty big mountain for this game too. And right, so we have a meeting situation. However, the one objective on the map is way over here. on the opposite side of the map from us, and it is Union controlled. So this is really a defending situation for the Federals and an attacking situation for us. Just gave us this tiny little deployment zone right at our entry point, which is in the very southeast corner of the map. And so I've got Garnett's Corps kind of in marching order along the road, and they'll be marching their way up toward the objective when time rolls. And I'm going to scout ahead with the cavalry, just going to come right up this road with the cav, have a look and see where the Federals actually deploy. Which, as we've seen in some recent battles, isn't necessarily right where the objective is, especially if it's a meeting engagement. So he might be somewhere slightly different. However, given the configuration of the roads and such, it's hard. I mean, he may have, there are 3 Federal entry points, so that army may have spawned in up here or over here and may actually be setting up somewhere else. So because of that, initially I'm just going to bring the infantry up as far as Willow Garden, and won't move them any further until Cav has located where the Federals are. So got a bit of scouting and marching to do, and I will be back. Okay, so the army has come up the road as far as Willow Garden, waiting to see what was what. The cavalry has gone ahead and has spotted the Federal position, and it is right here at the objective. It's not the worst position I've seen the AI do. It's not super great. I think probably a player would have kind of set up along in here, along higher ground. He kind of conceded the slope in here a little bit. That really won't affect his infantry too much, but I don't know. That may have issues. That may create some issues for his artillery. I don't know. Went in the HQ report and had a look, and he has a total of 8 full-size infantry brigades and 4 artillery battalions. No cavalry. But that's a pretty substantial force of infantry. 6 of them are visible to the cav at the moment, so there's another couple somewhere around here. But I can't imagine they're very far away. Hardy's Corps has started, is now entering the field down here at the southeast corner. Does have some defenses. There are some stone walls, which he kind of redundantly put breastworks right behind and then puts the brigades right in the stone walls. That's the second or third time we've seen the AI do that. That's kind of suboptimal, but regardless, these brigades here along the road have good cover. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the corps and I'm going to march them around these mountains and hills here and kind of set up kind of along like this on the north side of Fiddle Hill, and to push and make a flank attack in this direction. And the other corps I'll set up down here on the south side of the road, kind of along in here between the high ground and Lonesome Lake, to push in on this side. A lot of forest both sides, but he's got a lot of forest too. It'll be slow. We fought some battles like this recently, but at least over on this end, no defenses currently built. So that will take a while to do. It is already almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the brigades will be marching across the map. So this is going to take the rest of this day marching, and possibly even the morning of the second day as well. So, I will be back. Okay, well, that was a lot of marching. And here we are. It's not right at the beginning. We're in mid-morning now of day 2. So what have we got here? The Federals did not move much, hardly at all, during the overnight deployment phase. They didn't see very much in response to which to move. Now they see a little bit more. But so we've got Garnett's Corps over here on our right and Hardee on our left, and I've kind of moved the cavalry in the rear and the flanks. They even let Hardee's cav get across this ford, which took forever. Forrest was here at like 6 o'clock in the morning. It just took me forever to get this stupid brigade to get across this ford. Anyway, and they're still tired, winded now. But anyway. So the cavalry is in position here to deliver flank attacks whenever the time seems right, or just to mess with retreating units. And then Garnett just has one cav brigade, and I'm moving him all the way over here just to cover this ford. And his job is going to be, as they start retreating back toward their entry point, he's basically just going to be here in position to murder them as they bunch up in this ford. Okay. I've got the artillery of both corps, kind of here on this hill. Garnett's is already unlimbered and is starting to fire at this position here. And Polk's artillery, this is Hardee's arty, they're moving up just a little bit because this is kind of the crest of the ground right in here. And then he will be doing the same. I'm thinking through these woods. Now, they have sight of these forces through here. I don't think that they have vision on all of these brigades in the woods over here. So what I think I'm going to do is open the attack over here on the far right, move ahead Jackson's division and Lawton's division through here, because Sickles' brigade is a little isolated. And so it'll be a little bit slow because they're marching through woods, but we'll come in around this way first. And then as they start engaging over here, then Hardee will make his advance on the left. These brigades are all kind of doubled up in here just because there wasn't very much frontage between the hill and the creek, and that's just to kind of give them a little bit of room, and also if any of these brigades do take some casualties, I can leapfrog the reserve brigades ahead. Pillow's division here, just 2 brigades, and they're primarily there just to ensure that the artillery remains secure, which they probably would anyway because there is no cavalry in the federal force. But I'm not advancing them across this open ground toward the stone wall position here. We'll be coming at this more from the flanks. Okay, and with that, let's get some time rolling. Somewhere in here, these are the guys. This battery over here on the far right, this is actually 10-pounder Parrots. The other 5 battalions are all 12-pounder Napoleons. think we can get Jackson's division moving up a little bit. I'm just moving him a short distance right, just to make sure he's past that creek before I give him the advance order up towards Sickles. Okay, I think Polk's guys are in position. Let's see if I may need to move them up a little bit more. Let's just see if they have vision from here. Yeah, they should be fine. All these battalions have vision on that battalion. I'm gonna give them all counter battery. If we get all 6 of these battalions firing at that guy, I don't think he's going to last very long. I think this battalion maybe... He was firing before, but now I think he's got LOS blocked. Okay. I'm going to just... it's too close. I'm just moving a little bit to the right to give a little bit of maneuvering room to Lawton. Lawton can come forward. Just a little bit. Oh my goodness, what is Force doing now? You were in position. Here, come over here. Here, see if you can manage that. I know it's forest, but you know, AI forest is still AI. Well, we know there's brigades in here, but they're not actually visible, so I don't know if the artillery in game can actually see them or not. With that in mind, I'm just going to bring these skirmishers up a little bit. There is a little bit of a crest here. They blink in and out like that because cover, like stone walls and parapets and breastworks and everything, do offer, in addition to the cover, that it's also some concealment as well. It's visual cover as well. Move Tolliver and Armistead up a little bit, just in front of that artillery. Yeah, I know it looks like Taliaferro. That's pronounced Tolliver. These guys engaged yet? Nope. Okay, turning them out of their entrenchments. Good. Alright, let's go ahead and advance in earnest now. Right, now's the time for Hardy's guys to come on ahead. Those skirmers are at just the right distance. Right, taking return fire. Not yet. Well, yeah, kind of did a decent job of refusing his flank there. At least with these guys. Didn't get it turn into a big hopeless muddle yet. Hasn't moved slack. Not slack. Sickles. Maybe move this brigade up a little bit. think those skirmishers are superfluous now. Let's bring them in. Okay, so they're counterattacking on this end. That brigade is done for, or pulling back anyway. Hardy needs to move up. Horny to come back. Call him back. Okay. Ride's doing well there. This is Macintosh. No longer the Arkansas mounted rifles, more like the Arkansas mounted carbines. Alright. Let's get this guy's mounted back up. How are these guys in melee? That doesn't make any sense. Well. Well, we're about to have a mess here. Here I am, messing around in a creek. Weird things happen. Sickles technically still is not broken. Let's see what we can do about that. I think I had the wrong cav unit selected there. Oh, that's a brigade. Okay, I got a little confused there. Oh, times. Retreat phase is ending. What did we do there? 41% casualties for the Army of the Cumberland. About 5% for us. We took 2,300, enemy 10,000. See how many prisoners we bagged. Let's see if we can get some use out of those POW camps. Okay, 1,400 prisoners. Give the prison commandants down in Georgia and Alabama something to do. Alright, there you have it. Pretty good first combat for Garnett's Corps. I think I did leave one brigade way over on the right under fire too long. Took pretty serious losses. Some saw action going on there in the background, probably audible. Sorry about that. It is on the other side of the house. Hopefully it's not too loud. I think this is the 4th battle in this campaign that's been fought in Ohio. I think we fought as many battles in Ohio as we have in Virginia. And then at least one, maybe 2 battles in Indiana. Okay. 9,800 men total, 1,200 killed. 1,600, this says 1,600, captured. A little bit higher. There may have been like a wiped out artillery battalion or something in there. And we've captured 6,000 small arms and 34 artillery of some type or other. Which reminds me, we did cross over into June. However, I think there's been a game save since then, so I'm not 100% sure about the specific numbers. Let's just take a quick look at the economic and intel reports. We are down to BBB, credit rating mediocre now. It's not BBB plus anymore. Recovery mode for economy Wealth is low, but at least for the moment increasing. Tax revenues are up by quite a bit, 217 million. That's that factory we built in the last episode there. Exports going up, imports going up too. Pretty big numbers, starting to get pretty big numbers on the corporate production. And I haven't the foggiest idea why coal? That's the one thing we shouldn't have a problem with. I think we've got plenty. And I think we looked recently at flour and livestock, and they looked all right too. But the interesting thing here is, okay, so they're working on USCT, it's an act, which is going to increase their manpower. So that's significant. Following projects completed by the Union during the previous month: artillery reform, cavalry reform, and reboard muskets. So I hadn't really thought about it, but just, you know, the policy trees between USA and CSA are different. They're similar, but, you know, there's different acts on each side. And I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, the same would be true for the projects as well. So there, you know, I guess on the Union side, there's an artillery and cavalry reform project. Be interested to know what exactly those do. And then, okay, if you want to spend your subsidies on reboard muskets, have at it, buddy. I'm cool with that, except for the fact I'm not really going to want to capture them. Let's see how many reboards we have after this battle, if any. Says they've recruited 4 more brigades, 2,100 men. Okay. More ships building. And switching back into defensive mode. I wonder if maybe that posture change explains why those armies moved out of Grafton. Okay. I wanted to get this other scout moving up here. Keep from using this river for transport. Okay, well, that will do for this episode. If you like what we're doing with the channel, like the content, then leave a like, leave a comment, perhaps even subscribe. At any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.